And welcome back. Today is gonna be day 27 of creating the project, so I'm going to fill you in up until day 26 and whatever has happened up till now. So after week 1, I started importing some assets. That includes the metahumans and a basic house model that I found on Sketchfab, so that there is some kind of a base for the characters to be in. Now I'm thinking about adding 4 characters, all of which you can play as, but up until now I have 3 of them. That's Rudy, Draco and Luigi. We're gonna think about the 4th one later on. So as it is imaginable, for the house I had to edit it, and trust me, it was a lot of work editing all of the assets.
What's that? What's that, brother?
And I had to create functional doors, which I sort of did, but they still need tuning because the script for the doors was really hard to think of and code, and that has been a problem ever since I added them. Now, I might have to change from automatic opening to physical opening, which means that the character is gonna have to walk into the door and it will be pushed open. Anyways, we'll think about that. After that, I also created 2 zombies, a basic zombie blueprint and a bomber zombie blueprint. Basically, the basic zombie is whatever you expect it to be. It sees you, it chases you, it hits you. Now, the bomber zombie is a little bit different. The bomber zombie carries a bomb on its back, and whenever it dies, and that means whenever it reaches you, it explodes.
Allahu Akbar.
With a radius that I created, and everybody within that radius gets the same damage. There is no radial damage. The same damage is going to be dealt wherever you are in that area. Now, if you shoot him dead, the bomber zombie also explodes, but there you have the chance to be away from the bomb when it does, and you can also use it to kill nearby zombies as well. That is just one idea that I'm throwing in there. Now, there is not really much that I can explain because most of the mechanics are pretty simple, pretty basic, pretty intuitive, and you are going to find them in any third or first person shooter that you are gonna play. Now, you might have noticed that I said both third and first person, and that is because I added 2 cameras, a third person camera and a first person camera. Let me tell you, the view for the first person camera was a pain in the ass. I have been working on it ever since I added it, which was in day 13 back in June 19th, 2025, and up until yesterday, day 26, July 3rd, 2025, I have been working on the camera. Now, there is still even more work to be done, but the controls are pretty smooth and I am happy with what it looks like right now, although some improvements may come. Obviously, this was not the only thing that I did between day 13 and day 26. That's 14 days if you include both of them. So what I also added was an aim offset. Now, if you are not into the Unreal Engine or gaming space, what an aiming offset basically is the upper body of the character changes and looks up and down depending on where you make the camera look. That sounds intuitive, right? Well, it was a whole new mechanic that I had to learn and implement into the game. Thankfully, this works just fine. I might also do one for, when you are looking around so that the player does not rotate with the camera without any animation. That does not look good at all. But that's gonna be for later on. Now, we still need to add more movement animations because the animation looks a little bit arcadey, and that's not good in a game that looks realistic with metahumans. If you can notice, I also added a name display for the zombies, and depending on whether someone is friendly, the display name above their head is gonna be blue. If they're an enemy, the display name is going to be red, which is the zombies obviously, and if he's neutral, it's gonna be white. However, there are no neutral characters yet. Maybe some background NPCs are gonna be in the game, but we're gonna see about that later on. I am also experimenting with a drop loot system whenever a zombie dies. However, that is still in the works. It is kind of more complicated than it should be. I don't know why, but this is the way that things are.
This is the way.
Now, obviously, the game is lacking a lot of things.
I'm broke, nigga, I'm broke!
But I am quite happy with what we have done so far. I am going to add more assets that's gonna instantly make the game look better. I am also adding a European Beach add-on, which I had gotten from the marketplace. Once or twice a month there's free stuff there for a limited time. I had once gotten a European Beach add-on asset, whatever you wanna call it. It is basically trees and plantation and everything like that. The animations have been very hard to coordinate. I mean, not very hard, but very time consuming. So that is a big part. Whenever you add assets, assets, the code takes a step back, the animations and the smooth blending of them, and you know, the weapon pitch change, you know, whether it looks up or down for you to be able to shoot. Those were really hard to do, although they are intuitive, so you can not really leave them out of the game. Now I also want to make the AI, depending on which team it is, to act some way. What I have gotten is a basic follow or chase player mechanic. You know, if it's an ally, you are following the player. If it is a zombie, you are chasing the player so that you can damage them. And I also created a grave, which is a zombie spawner. You know, that was a little bit of a stylistic choice. And we are working on more things to come. The main concern is that the AI code sucks for now, but we are making progress. In day 26, I made serious progress on the code. However, it's still janky and flawed. The game cannot be released like that, obviously. There is still a lot of work to be done, but we are getting somewhere. That's what I'm trying to say. Before I go though, I want to say something. Today is gonna be day 42, July 26th, 2025, and you don't wanna miss the next video because there have been so many changes in the game, so much extreme progress that it's unrecognizable. It's as if 100 years have gone by. So definitely tune in for the next video, and also consider subscribing the shit out of this channel because we broke. And with that, I am Alex here, and I will see you in the next video.